Now called to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag May we have a roll call, please?
Hey, Mr. Person.
Here.
Ms. Switchy.
Here.
Mr. McGurven.
Here.
Ms. Perez. Mr. Pavoni.
Here.
Mr. Corman.
Here.
And Mr. Prince.
Here.
Roll call, Mr. Mayor, one absent.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Prince.
I move we excuse the absent council member.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. Person, that council excuse Councilmember Perez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Well, you probably can guess we've got a special presentation tonight. It's not a security issue, it's a special presentation. So with that, I'd like to call Chief Ed Van Bailey up.
Thank you. Good evening, Council President Person, Mayor Law, Council, and audience members. Thank you for this opportunity to present before you a few awards that recognize performance, dedication, professionalism, and influence within our Renton Police Department. The awards and recognition I will present before you were all nominated by peers or supervisors during the last year. It is an honor for me to stand before you, the families of the recipients, loved ones and friends, and the recipients themselves. This group of professionals are much more than the words I will say or the words written about them. They truly are your best, and I am proud of each one of them. Employee of the Quarter is selected after a nomination by another member within the department. Each month, the Communication and Advisory Board, made up of employees from all department work groups, meets to discuss department issues. Every quarter, they vote on the nominations provided by their peers for the Employee of the Quarter. I would like to first call up Officer Gina Christensen. Officer Gina Christensen was selected as the Employee of the Quarter for the second quarter of 2018. Officer Christensen is passionate about her job and works nonstop. Her attitude towards proactive police work is contagious among junior officers and is an excellent example of great work ethic. Officer Christensen proposed DUI cars through her chain of command. She takes an active role in investigating DUIs and helping others develop skills in DUI investigations. She's often utilized to instruct field sobriety tests and clues to other students. She is an officer in charge for Patrol Squad 3B North and mentors officers in all aspects of our ever-changing job. Her work ethic and dedication are unequaled and exemplify the department's core values for others to follow. Please join me in congratulating Gina on her selection as Employee of the Quarter. Here's a picture. Sergeant Craig Johnson. Sergeant Craig Johnson was selected as Employee of the Quarter for the third quarter of 2018. Over the past 4 years, Sergeant Johnson has been the face of the Renton Police Department to all new employees coming through the door. He is responsible for the successful hiring of over 50 highly qualified employees and the disqualification of dozens of others who did not meet the high standards of the Renton Police Department. In addition to his role in hiring new employees, Sergeant Johnson's duties also included serving as the new recruit supervisor while they attend the academy, overseeing the department's training, quartermaster, community programs, and electronic home detention functions. Any one of Sergeant Johnson's core job functions could arguably be a full-time job. Yet despite his many duties and the volume of people that have been hired and trained during his tenure in this position, Sergeant Johnson continued to perform at a high level, always putting the department first. He always had a smile on his face, remains polite and helpful regardless of the situation, and never has a negative comment. He is a true professional and is always pleasant to be around. His high standards and work ethic have allowed our department to efficiently fill our ranks with the highest quality people. Please join me in congratulating Craig Johnson on his selection as Employee of the Quarter. Ms. Tina Harris. Domestic violence victim advocate Tina Harris was selected as Employee of the Quarter for the fourth quarter of 2018. Tina Harris does a great deal of work that largely goes unseen. Most recently, in response to a very tragic call, Tina took on the position of liaison between the father of the victim, who was himself a victim, and the primary investigator. She established a level of trust with the family and was able to act as a buffer, thus allowing both the investigators and the King County prosecutor to work more effectively. While advocating is Tina's job, she consistently takes her job to the next level and brings a very professional aspect to the Renton Police Department. Please join me in congratulating Tina Harris on her selection as Employee of the Quarter. In January, members of the Communication and Advisory Board voted on the Employee of the Year with the previous winners of the Employee of the Quarter. Those members voted and selected Sergeant Craig Johnson as the Employee of the Year for 2018. Craig. That's news to him. Even bigger one.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
his
Person.
mother is in the audience, and maybe a picture.
Well,
Oh,
I think,
yeah.
I think the reason he won is because his mother's here in the
Yeah,
audience.
That's right.
Volunteer.
We had to change the award.
Roberta, you want to come up for a picture?
You can get a separate one there. Okay, now I'll get it. Now, I have two meritorious service awards to read. Sergeant Radke, Detective Montemayor, please. Sergeant Radke, in August 2016, you were awarded a commendation associated with your response to a Valley Investigation Team call-out in Tukwila for an officer-involved shooting. In your role, you recognized the primary agency did not have significant experience with the team. You took the lead to initiate the investigation and were able to turn it over to the primary agency, ensuring their success. In September of 2017, you were awarded a commendation for your involvement in investigating a shooting that took place over a holiday weekend. Not only did you sacrifice the holiday with your family, but you remained on scene for what amounted to a 17-hour investigation once it was concluded. In July of 2018, you responded with the Valley Investigation Team to Kent for an officer-involved incident where a police officer had been killed. Renton was not on the rotation to be the primary investigation team. However, you recognized the next agency up to investigate was new to the team and did not have a lot of experience with these type of investigations. You took charge of the scene, appointed a lead detective, and oversaw the investigation from start to finish, ultimately ending in the apprehension of subjects involved and charges being filed. You were rotated out of the division at the end of 2018, and this did not go unnoticed by your coworkers. One of your most tenured detectives in investigations commented, "I can, without hesitation, tell you that Sergeant Radke has been the most effective first-level supervisor I've had, and the progress that we have made as a division has been unequaled in that time." Detective Montemayor, in September 2016, you were presented with a commendation for your work on a case involving threats by a high school student to bring a gun to school for the purpose of shooting another student and possibly others at school. You recognized the severity of the threats and dropped everything that you were working on to take this case. You tirelessly pursued the leads in the case, identifying the suspect and bringing him into custody while keeping school officials informed of the case progression the entire time. In July 2018, as a member of the Valley Investigations Team, you responded to an incident in Kent where a police officer had been killed. Renton was not next on the rotation list as primary for the investigation, but you accepted that role when asked with no complaints or hesitation. You conducted a thorough investigation and provided a professional service to the Kent Police Department and that officer's family. Your experience and understanding of prosecutorial guidelines led to the successful apprehension of the subjects involved and charges being filed. As one of the detectives in the Investigations Division, you have one of the highest response rates to crime scenes. You are always readily available to assist younger and less experienced investigators, and you are a role model for what others in the division should aspire to emulate. And Pete, I will add, this is a long time coming and way overdue.
Sergeant Radke, for your consistent and exceptional performance while assigned as the Sergeant of the Renton Police Investigations, and for your truly professional performance as a lead investigative sergeant for the Valley Investigation Team, you are hereby awarded this Medal of Meritorious Service. Detective Montemayor, for your continued exceptionally meritorious service in the Investigations Division, you have come to represent the best in performance, loyalty, dedication, and influence, not only in Renton Police, but in the detective profession in this region. And for that, you are hereby awarded this Medal of Meritorious Service.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you, everyone. That concludes our awards. We'll have a reception directly following if you make it. We'll be sure to save some cake for you. All right.
Thank you very much, Chief, and congratulations to everybody who was recognized tonight, especially Russ and Pete. The great work that you guys have been doing has really put the Renton Police Department on the map in South King County. So congratulations, and have a good time at your reception. We'll get there as quick as we can. Thanks, Chief. Okay, administrative report, Mr. Harrison.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Council. I have 2 items for you this evening. Residents can swap plants and seeds and learn about gardening, beekeeping, backyard chickens, and more at the Suburban Farm and Garden Expo, which is going to be held on Saturday, March 9th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the North Highlands Neighborhood Center, which is located at 3000 Northeast 16th Street. And the second item is an online map is now available and survey, which is at http:// Renton Interactive Parks map for residents to provide input on the update to the Parks Recreation Natural Areas Plan. The map-based survey is available in multiple languages, including English, Spanish, and Vietnamese, and will be taking input through March 28th. You can share which Renton parks you use, what you like about them, and what you would like to do to see changed or improved in those parks. This is one of several ways the city is planning on collecting ideas and identifying issues from the community during our planning process. So we certainly hope you can participate. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Bob. Next is audience comments. We have one person signed up to address the council. When I call your name, please come to the podium and give your name and city of residence for the record. You have 5 minutes. Joe Scalia.
Joe Scalia, and it's Newcastle.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Joe Scalia in Newcastle, but I do work here in Renton. Good evening, council members, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate your time. Just wanted to let you know I'm here on behalf of the Renton Downtown Partnership. Just wanted to let everybody on the council know that we are here to support everything that you guys are working on in the city. We absolutely love everything that we are, that you are working on. I would also like to excuse me, sorry. I'd also like to formally invite everybody here to Ladies' Night in heart of downtown. That's going to be, that's going to be March 23rd from 3 to 9. There's going to be some more details posted on the Renton Downtown Partnership's Facebook page and an Eventbrite page as well. We hope to see you there. And again, we truly appreciate everything you are doing, and you have our full support. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joe, and thank you for your work on the partnership. We really appreciate what you guys are doing downtown, so it's fun to support a group like that, so thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, council members.
Okay, moving on to consent agenda. We have 4 items for council consideration. Are there any items a council member would like pulled for discussion?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes,
I
Mr.
move
Person.
Council adopted, can't speak all of us on tonight. Consent agenda.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Ms. Witchy, that council approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to unfinished business, Mr. Person.
No unfinished business.
Okay, Ms. Witchy.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. McGurven.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Transportation Committee has just a couple committee reports.
Okay, first one is the Transportation Aviation Committee report appointments to the Renton Airport Advisory Committee. Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to confirm Mayor Law's appointments to the Renton Airport Advisory Committee of Ms. Sarah Gill, Talbot Hill Neighborhood alternate position for an unexpired term expiring May 7th, 2020. Mr. James Young, Airport at Large alternate position for an unexpired term which expires May 7th, 2019. And Mr. Robert Spitzer, Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association, primary position for an unexpired term expiring May 7th, 2021.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I move
McGurven.
that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Person, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next report is the Washington State Department of Transportation Design Build Cooperative Agreement. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to adopt the resolution and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute GCB 2476 Design Build Cooperative Agreement with WashDOT for design and construction of the I-405 Renton to Bellevue widening and toll lanes project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurven.
both this and the next committee report will be essential for coordinating with WashDOT as we continue the 405 build-out. So I'd like to move that council concur with the Transportation and Aviation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Okay, the next Transportation Committee report is the Design Build Coordinator Agreement with WashDOT. Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to adopt the resolution and authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute GCB 2433 Design Build Coordinator Agreement with WashDOT for the I-405 Renton to Bellevue widening and express toll lanes project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I move that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Ms. Witchy, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next report is regarding the Renton Avenue South resurfacing project. Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute supplemental agreement number 2 to CAG 17128, which is with Gray and Osborne for construction management and inspection services for the Renton Avenue South resurfacing project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I
McGurven.
move that the council concur with the Transportation Committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next one is regarding the Park Avenue North expansion project. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute supplemental agreement number 7 to CAG 1782 with Pertete Incorporated for $288,617 for the preparation of the 90% design plans and final construction documents for the Park Avenue North extension project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr.
I
McGurven.
move that the council concur with the recommended action of the Transportation Committee.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the final Transportation Committee report is regarding the Lake Washington Loop Trail project. The Transportation Aviation Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the mayor and city clerk to execute supplemental agreement number 6 to CAG 15177 with OTAC Incorporated in the amount of $130,499 for the Lake Washington Loop Trail project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McGurven.
this is altering the original project slightly where the loop will be in the right-of-way along Airport Way, but it's another important connection and missing link within the our regional trail system. So with that, I'd like to move that council concur with the Transportation Aviation Committee.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that council concur with the Transportation Committee report. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Mr. McIrvin, you need one more report if you're going to beat out Mr. Prince.
Right.
So it looks like he's got a tie.
I
with
guess
you.
not today.
Okay. Go
Oh,
ahead,
that's
Jason.
the final report. For the presentation. That was the final report, sorry.
That was the fun.
Darn, I thought he was going to accomplish something.
No.
Okay. Let's see, Mr. Pavoni.
Yes. Yes, Mr. Mayor, the Finance Committee has 6 reports for tonight.
Okay, Finance Committee. Finance Committee report approval of claims and payroll vouchers. Finance Committee approves the following payments. Accounts payable, total payment of $11,667,531.22 for vouchers 10097, 11019, 12519, and a whole other bunch of others. Payroll benefit withholding vouchers, and 11 wire transfers. There are a lot of vouchers, so these will be on file in my office. So, payroll, total payment of $1,455,250.46 for payroll vouchers, which include 677 direct deposits and 18 checks. That's the January 16th through 31, 2019 pay period. Kidder Matthews, a total payment of $41,326.03. Those are vouchers 5816 through 5838. And the municipal court, a total payment of $13,025.07 for vouchers 017361 through 017387. This is signed by the committee vice chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move that the council concur with the committee report, the Finance Committee report. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Jason, that's the first time in 12 years I've ever heard something like that.
Just so many of them. All right. Next is the request to increase the Recreation and Parks Program Assistant from a half FTE to a three-quarter FTE. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to authorize the Community Services Department, Recreation and Neighborhood, and Parks and Trails Divisions to increase the current half FTE full-time equivalent, for those that don't know, and program assistant to focus on marketing, technical, and event support to a three-quarter FTE. And that's signed by the committee chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Yeah, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next report is the Renton Hill Utility Replacement Project. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to execute change order number 5 to CAG 17174 with Laser Underground and Earthworks Incorporated in the amount of $1,031,259.85 for roadway restoration of all roads within the Renton Hill Utility Replacement Project area. This is signed by the committee vice chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I know that all the fine residents of Renton Hill are ready to have their roads paved, so with that, I would move that the council concur with the committee report. Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. I'm sorry? Any comments? Oh, opposed? Ayes have it.
Oh, why would I? I'd get in trouble.
Well, I know that.
All right, the next report is the South King Housing and Homeless Partners Interlocal Agreement. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence with the staff recommendation to approve Resolution 1797, South King Housing and Homeless Partners Interlocal Agreement, and authorize the mayor to execute the interlocal agreement in substantially the same form, signed by the vice chair.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report. Second.
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Next report is an amendment to our interlocal agreement with the Renton Regional Fire Authority. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence with the staff recommendation to approve a resolution with the Renton Regional Fire Authority addendum to interlocal agreement and authorize the mayor to execute the addendum in substantially the same form, signed by the committee.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee committee report.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Ms. Witchy, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. And to make a tie,
Okay, so the final Finance Committee report is the Public Defense Services Agreement. The Finance Committee recommends concurrence in the staff recommendation to approve the 5-year agreement with Valley Defenders PLLC for public defense services consistent with its response to the city's request for proposals for primary public defense services and authorize the mayor and city clerk to sign the agreement. This is signed by the committee vice chair and member.
Mr. Mayor,
yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council concur with the Finance Committee report.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council concur with the Finance Committee report. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, Mr. Corman.
No unfinished business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Prince.
We did enough work in finance,
I think so. Okay. Moving on to legislation, we have 4 resolutions this evening.
Okay, the first resolution is regarding the South King County Housing and Homeless Partners. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the mayor and the city clerk to enter into an interlocal agreement with the cities of Auburn, Burien, Covington, Des Moines, Federal Way, Kent, Normandy Park, and Tukwila, and King County, entitled Interlocal Agreement for SKHHP, which is the South King County Housing and Homeless Partners.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council adopt the resolution as read.
Second.
Been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council approve the resolution as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
And the next resolution is the, regarding the addendum to the interlocal agreement with the RFA. Resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into addendum number 1 to interlocal agreement for the collection, distribution, and expenditure of fire impact fees with the Renton Regional Fire Authority.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. Pavoni.
I move the council adopt the resolution as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Pavoni, second by Mr. Prince, that council approve the resolution as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the next resolution is regarding the Design Build Coordinator Agreement with WashDOT. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an interlocal agreement with the State of Washington Department of Transportation entitled GCB 2433 Design Build Coordinator Agreement, City of Renton, I-405, Renton to Bellevue Widening and Express Toll Lanes Project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McIrvin.
I move that this resolution be adopted as read.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. McIrvin and second by Mr. Pavoni that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
All right, the final resolution is, see, what do we got here? It's the Design Build Cooperative Agreement with WashDOT. A resolution of the City of Renton, Washington, authorizing the mayor and city clerk to enter into an interlocal agreement with the State of Washington Department of Transportation entitled GCB 2476 Design Build Cooperative Agreement, Design and Construction, I-405, Renton to Bellevue Widening and Express Toll Lanes Project.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes, Mr. McIrvin.
I move that the council adopt this resolution as read.
Second?
It's been moved by Mr. McIrvin, second by Mr. Corman that this resolution be adopted as read. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Thanks, Jason. Moving on to new business, Mr. Person.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, 6 PM on Monday, March 11th, the Committee of the Whole will meet in the conferencing center. 4 topics: city facilities update, police training center funding, body cameras update, and emerging issues.
Treat.
Oh, I forgot about Saturday. How could I forget about Saturday? Saturday, March 9th at 10 a.m. at the Renton Senior Activity Center. We'll have a council retreat. There's 7 topics: long-term financial strategy, financial reserve policy, annexation policy, planning for long-term growth, transit/transportation issues, perception of public safety in the downtown. Number 7 will be our business plan, and 8 emerging issues. That's it, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Witchy.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Mr. McIrvin.
No committees to announce, but there was one issue I would like to move into the Transportation Committee if possible. We heard from a citizen a couple weeks in a row regarding the use of lead at the airport, and it's an issue I'd love to hear a little bit more about in the Transportation Committee, as far as practices we use, what we can and can't do. So if we could get a briefing in the Transportation Committee, I would like to make that motion to refer this issue into committee for a briefing.
Second.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. McGurven, second by Mr. Corman, that the topic on lead fuel from airplanes at the airport be referred to the Transportation Committee. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. You're right, we're very limited on what we can do, but we can put together some information, provide it to you. In particular, excuse me, we want to make sure we have the proper statistics on the increase or decrease of airplanes that are flying with gasoline. Okay, Mr. Pavoni.
No new business, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, Mr. Corman.
Just to announce, Mr. Mayor, that we're canceling the Public Safety Committee meeting that would have been held on March 11.
Okay,
That's all, Mr. Mayor.
thank you. And Mr. Prince.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I've got a couple of things. One, before I go into my committee, I want to refer, we had an affordable housing policy discussion in committee of the whole earlier. I want to refer the issue of affordable housing policy into the Planning and Development Committee.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved by Mr. Prince, second by Mr. McGurven, that the topic of affordable housing policy be referred to the Planning and Development Committee. I guess just for public knowledge, this is a big topic for the entire city and for the full council, so I assume after they've had a chance to be briefed
Yeah,
on
it's
different
gonna
things,
go
we'll
back
be
to
moving
Cal.
it to committee of the
Yeah.
whole. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it.
All right, so on Monday, March 11th at 5 p.m., the Planning and Development Committee will meet in the council conference room. We have 4 items: recreational uses in the UC zone, shoreline master program, long-range work program, and emerging issues in CED. And that's all, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Prince. Mr. Person? I think we're going to
We're ready?
recess.
Yes.
Yep. I move that we recess into executive session to discuss labor negotiations per RCW 52.30.140 subsections 4B and for approximately 30 minutes, and that the meeting be adjourned when the executive session is over with no action being taken.
Second.
It's been moved by Mr. Person, second by Mr. Corman, that we recess into executive session for approximately 30 minutes on labor negotiations. Council meeting will be adjourned following that session. No action will be taken. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we're in executive session.